Today we're going to talk about creating a sketch. So far in this series, we have really focused in on using sketches, where to find sketches, how to manipulate sketches to meet your needs. But now we're going to switch the focus to creating sketches. So one of the easiest ways I come up with ideas for sketches is to look at some previous work. I've got two examples here that I know I did not use a sketch for creating. And I think that's important. When you're going to create a sketch, it's important to use your own ideas. And so my process is to use a sketch so I don't really come up with things on my own very easily. So I went through some of my binders, and you may notice this right here was from my Scrap the Boys challenge in May. You can check that video in the upper right hand corner. And this is from a conversation Melly and I had over on Calling Creatives, and you can check that out at the end of April. So both of these layouts I came up with on my own with no sketch whatsoever. And so now I know that I can use these freely to help create my sketches online. Now I use a tool called Canva, and that is a free resource. I do pay a premium subscription. However, you don't need that in order to come up with your own sketches on Canva. So we're going to switch views, and we're going to go ahead and look in Canva at how to create a sketch based off this layout. So this is Canva, and I have logged into my premium subscription. Taking a look kind of in Canva, you can see here you can create videos, print products, whiteboards, all the kind of thing, and you could search your content in Canvas to create custom designs. Now a lot of these it'll pull up are paid designs, but we're going to try to not use any paid product today because I want this to be easy for you. So you'll sign in and you'll hit create design, and it will come up with a whole bunch of different options for you. Now you can do Instagram post, which is going to be square, or you can do a custom size and change this from pixels to inches. And you could do 12 by 12, you could do 6 by 8, you could do 4 1/4 by 5.5 if you want to do a card sketch. Any size you can create with this custom size, and it'll take you into a new design. And your template here will be 12 by 12. Now currently this is called an untitled design. So I'm going to name this my baseball sketch. Okay. Now over here on the left we have a whole bunch of toolbars. We're going to be relying heavily on elements. So in my layout here you can see I've got a big circle right here, my 2 photos, 3 clusters, and a pattern background. I'm actually going to start with a pattern background. And the things with the little pro icon there are things that you have to pay for. So I'm going to try to come up with elements that are free. So if I look here, I have a couple options here for free photos. And the ones that don't have the crowns are free. So I'm going to pick this pink one just to give my background a little bit of contrast compared to just white. And I can right click on this image and set it as the background, and it fills my entire space, which is great. Next, my element is going to be my circle. And again, these are pros, but if I pick something like this, I can totally put this on here, and I can change the size of this to be something like that. I can probably even edit my photo and maybe pick a different filter to really make this more like the background colors here. I'm just kind of looking between this kind of pink color and maybe this one. That looks good. That looks like it matches better than that purple did. And if I decide I don't want whatever it was that I just did, I can do Control Z on my keyboard to go back to the color that I previously had. And there's probably some function within File to do undo as well. But if you're on a Mac, it would be Command Z. On a PC, it's Control Z. And that is kind of just a universal shortcut on your keyboard that you can use to undo something. So I've got my circle in there. Now I want to put my photos. So I'm going to search photo frame. And what you're looking for are things that have this landscapey look to it. So my photos were rectangle and not square. So I'm going to go through here and try to find something that's a rectangle. And I might even do to really limit my search options here. Okay, so we got rectangle. This almost looks it. I'm trying to find the right ratio because I don't like when the ratio is different. But this one looks pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to drag and drop. Nope, that's got rounded corners. I don't do rounded corners, although it probably would look good with this. I'm going to pick this one. I'm going to make it smaller, make my circle bigger. Just comparing my photo. My circle is really big on this, and I need 2 cattywampus photo frames. There's one, and this one's a little bit lower, and I Control C to copy and Control V, or I can use the duplicate button there, and that looks about good. Yeah. Now I just need to add my 3 clusters on here. So go back to elements, and let's do, if I do flower cluster, you can see it comes up with a whole bunch of stuff here, and I'm going to click free. So let's click on these graphics and see if we can find something that kind of has the same vibe as, or the same colors. And I really kind of like this one. Now you can see how it's like snapping to that circle. I don't want it to. I want it to be a individual graphic. So I'm having to, there we go, add it on here. And if I do that, it's going to come off the page. Okay. So I had a cluster up here. That was kind of medium. I had a cluster, oh my goodness. And I'm just resizing these right here. And I can rotate this whichever way I want to make it look a little bit better. And then my final cluster, let's see. And these don't necessarily have to be flowers, but I find flowers are easy to represent a cluster because it's literally a cluster. I think I'm going to just duplicate this one. That'll be easy. And that's going to be right here. And I'm going to rotate it. So it's like that. And then I might duplicate this one and see if maybe I can put it behind. And I dragged and dropped it. Now this cluster has a little extra. And you know what? I might actually put it back here. I'm going to right click and I'm going to put backward, so that this is kind of like that. There we go. So now this leaf has a little bit of combo with that one. And then I need my journaling, which ended up being a square. Write a text box. I'm just going to add it. Journaling here. That is really small. So I'm going to move it. And you can see in the bottom, you could zoom. I like seeing a big picture, so that's why it is so far out. And I want a bigger, bolder text. So I'm going to do Arial because that is pretty big. And then if I click Effects, you can see there's a background one here. And I can make it bigger, something like that. And then my effects with my background, I'm going to pick a color that's white. And there you have it. There's my sketch. Now, something that you can do to save paper is you can download it as a PNG and click download. You can open it in your image editor that's just on your computer, edit it, and you can use some of these filters to make it black and white warm, black and white high contrast. Nope. There you go. So now you can see this kind of had a pattern in the background. You've got your journaling block here. You've got your 3 clusters and your 2 photos. That was pretty easy, right? So now I've got a color version and black and white version of my sketch. So this one can be used to save ink. And if you have trouble with black and whites, you can use the color one. Easy peasy. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how to use Canva in order to create your own scrapbook sketches. This is also a way that you can do some digital scrapbooking if you have digital papers that you purchased from people like Tracy Reed or Echo Park. Even American Crafts has digital content that you can purchase to make your own digital scrapbook pages. I hope you have a wonderful day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.